Okay, so let's dive into this. It's Saturday night, February 7, 2026. You're scrolling through the NBA schedule, and you see it. The big one. Los Angeles Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors.
Yep, the marquee matchup. It's the rivalry it's defined so much of modern basketball, hasn't it?
It really has. You just seen those two uniforms on the court together? You know you're in for a show.
You expect fireworks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you grab the popcorn, you get comfortable, you're all set for this clash of titans. But, and this is a huge but, if you tuned in expecting the usual star power, you were probably squinting at your screen thinking, wait a minute, who are all these guys?
That's a very polite way to put it. The injury report for this game was almost more star-studded than the actual active roster.
Seriously, it wasn't really a next man up kind of night. It was more like a who's even left night.
It was. So I think the mission for us here for this deep dive, it's really specific. We're not just going to read the box score of a 105-99 Lakers win. We're looking at like a survival guide.
A survival guide, I like that.
Yeah, how did these Lakers, without the main engines of their 2026 quote-unquote super team, manage to pull this off against a Warriors team that was pretty desperate for a win?
It's a fantastic question. It really is a case study in roster depth and just, pure resilience. It kind of asks that old question. When your best players are out, can the rest of the team still win the race?
Exactly. And in this case, the answer was a surprising yes.
Okay, but before we get to the guys who stepped up, we have to talk about the pieces that we're missing. Because the context here is just everything.
It is. You can't really appreciate the win without understanding the massive hole they were trying to fill. The big headline, of course, is Luka Doncic.
The Don.
Right. He's out with that mild thigh strain he got on Thursday. Now, we all know Luka is, he's a high-usage guy. But for anyone listening who maybe just casually follows, can you really break down what it means tactically when you take Luka out of this Lakers offense?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, he's not just part of the system. He is the system, isn't he?
He is the system. That's the perfect way to say it. Luka isn't just a guy who gets you 30 points. He's the architect. He's the one who controls the tempo of the entire game. He moves defenses with his eyes. He creates looks for literally everyone else on the floor.
So you're not just losing his scoring.
Not at all. You're losing the guy who organizes the whole operation.
Yeah.
The entire geometry of the court changes because defenses don't have to warp their whole scheme just to contain him.
And as if that wasn't a big enough blow, the bad news just kept on coming. DeAndre Ayton, a late scratch.
Yeah, the knee injury. And I think people might underestimate how big that loss is, especially against a team like the Warriors. Ayton is your anchor. He's your rim protection, sure, but he's also that release valve on offense when a play breaks down.
The lob threat.
The lob threat. You just throw it near the rim and he'll go get it.
Yeah.
So let's just recap the situation here. You're down your primary playmaker and your number one option in Luka. You're down your starting center and your main interior presence in Ayton. On paper, this is what you'd call a scheduled loss.
Oh, for sure. It's the kind of game where you just kind of shrug and say, we'll get him next time.
It had all the signs of a game they were just going to have to punt on. But that's not what happened. Instead of folding, they leaned on the one constant they have left.
The one guy who seems to view the concept of time as a mild suggestion.
It's LeBron James.
Of course. I was looking at his line for this game, and for a guy playing in 2026, it's absurd. 20 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds.
It's a classic LeBron line. But what I find so impressive isn't just the final numbers, it's the efficiency, the economy of it all. At this point in his career, he's not trying to just go out and dominate from the opening tip.
He's picking his spots.
He is picking his spots. He's playing chess. He's managing his energy bar like it's a video game.
So when did he decide to hit the turbo button? Because the first half was pretty ugly, a real grind.
It was a dogfight. But then came the third quarter. That's when you saw the switch flip. LeBron clearly looked around and realized, okay, if I don't take control right now, this game is going to slip away. He scored 12 of his 20 points in that one quarter.
The takeover moment. I want to get into the specifics of how he did it, though. Was it just bully ball? Just him putting his shoulder down and getting to the rim like he was 25 again?
That's the beautiful part of his game now. It was a mix of everything. He had those powerful drives, yes, but he also had the finesse. He knocked down 2 threes in that quarter.
And when he's hitting from outside?
It changes everything. The defense has to press up on him, which opens up the driving lanes. But the part that was just truly demoralizing for Golden State had to be the and ones.
The old-fashioned three-point plays.
Exactly. He had 2 of them. 2 separate plays where he scored through contact, through the foul. Just think about the psychology of that for a defender. You do everything right. You try to stop the easy basket by fouling him.
And the ball goes in anyway.
And the ball goes in anyway. And then you have to watch him walk to the free throw line. It's an absolute momentum killer.
Yeah, it really sucks the life out of a building.
That whole surge he went on, it helped the Lakers build up an 8-point lead. And in a messy, low-scoring game like this one, an 8-point lead feels like a 20-point lead. It just stabilized everything for them.
It gave them that breathing room. But this is where the story gets really compelling for me. Because, look, we expect LeBron to be great. We know he has that gear. But you can't win a game in this league 1-on-5.
No way!
Yeah.
Especially not against a Steve Kerr-coached team, no matter who's on the floor for them.
So who else was there? Who stepped into that vacuum? Because when you look at the final box score, the scoring is actually spread out pretty nicely.
And that's the real key to this victory. This was, I think, a win for roster depth. A win for the front office, really.
Yeah.
They built a team that can still function when the headliners are out.
Okay, so let's run through the supporting cast.
Let's do it. You have Rui Hachimura, who had 18 points.
Which is huge. They needed every single one of those.
Critical scoring. Rui gives you that reliable mid-range shot. Then there's Austin Reeves. He added 16 points. And actually, there's this one tiny little detail about his performance that I loved. It happened right around halftime.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the Draymond Green technical?
Yes. It's such a weird, specific basketball nerd moment. Draymond, being Draymond, picks up a technical foul right as the first half ends. But because of how it was timed, they didn't shoot the free throw until right before the third quarter started.
So before a single second ticks off the clock in the second half, Austin Reeves is already at the line.
Exactly. He calmly steps up, knocks down the free throw, and the Lakers start the half with a point. It seems so small, but it actually sparked a 10-2 run for them. It just set this tone of focus.
It's like you're stealing a point from the basketball gods. Who else made a difference?
Marcus Smart, the pit bull.
Of course.
He chipped in with 15 points. And look, we know what Smart brings on the defensive end, but getting 15 points of offense from him it's a bonus. It's a luxury.
It means the Warriors can't just ignore him out there.
They can't. And we should also mention Maxi Kleber.
I mostly saw him in the highlights taking a hard foul.
And that's his job. He took that charge from Brandon Podziemski. Look, Kleber's not going to light up the stat sheet, but his willingness to do that dirty work, to absorb contact, that stuff allows a guy like LeBron to operate more freely.
Okay, so we've got the legend, we've got the role players all doing their jobs, but there's a wild card in this game. The new guy.
The debut, Luke Kennard.
I mean, this guy basically just got off the plane, right?
Pretty much. The trade with Atlanta was on Thursday. This game is Saturday. He probably doesn't even have his new address memorized yet, let alone the full playbook.
And still, he played a massive role in closing this thing out.
He really did. He only finished with 10 points, but it's not about the total number, it's about the timing. There was a stretch late in the game, the Lakers went on an 11-0 run. That was the run that sealed the win, and Kennard was right in the middle of it.
Okay, talk me through that run. What did he do? Because people hear Luke Kennard and they just think, shooter.
Well, he is an elite shooter, and that's the weapon. He hit this huge three-pointer from the corner during that run. And we need to understand why that's so important. With a shooter like Kennard in the corner, his defender cannot sag off him to help on a drive.
Right, you can't leave him.
You can't. If you help on LeBron, Kennard's wide open for a three. If you stay glued to Kennard, you give LeBron a one-on-one. That's what spacing is. But he did more than just shoot. He also made a great pass, a little dump off to Jared Vanderbilt for a dunk.
So he used the threat of his own shot to create an easy basket for a teammate.
Precisely. That is just high-level basketball IQ. To come in 2 days after being traded and make those kinds of reads in crunch time, that's huge.
That has to make the front office feel good. You go out and get a guy to solve a specific problem shooting, and he immediately delivers.
It validates the move instantly, and it sends a message to the whole locker room. Help is here.
Okay, so the Lakers played with heart. They got contributions from everyone. But we do have to look at the other side of this. The Golden State Warriors. Losing at home to a team this depleted. What went wrong for them?
Well, it's the flip side of the same injury coin, really. The Warriors were missing their own sun, the center of their solar system.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. Missed his third straight game with that knee injury. And if we're saying Luka is the system for the Lakers, then Steph is the gravity for the Warriors. Without him flying around off screens, that chaotic motion that usually breaks defenses down, it just isn't there.
They still had some guys step up, though. I saw Moses Moody had a really big night.
He did. He was the one bright spot for them. Moody had a team-high 25 points. He was aggressive. He was hunting his shot. If you're a Warriors fan, that's something you feel good about.
Well, one guy scoring 25 points doesn't help much if the rest of the team is building a brick house.
A brick house is a very kind way to say it. Their team's shooting numbers were something else.
I saw the final stats and I had to read them twice. 14 for 51 from 3.
27.5% on 51 attempts. The sheer volume of misses is just hard to wrap your head around.
So is that just a cold shooting night? Bad luck. Or was the Lakers defense really that good?
I think it's a little bit of both. Without Steph creating those easier looks, the shots they're getting are just a little tougher. But you have to give the Lakers' perimeter defense a ton of credit. Marcus Smart, Austin Reeves, they were fighting over screens. They were closing out hard.
But Golden State didn't just roll over. They made it interesting there at the end.
They did. In the fourth quarter, the law of averages finally caught up a little bit. A few of those shots started to fall. They cut the lead down, and it definitely got tense for a minute.
The scare.
Yeah, but it was just too little, too late. The hole they dug themselves over the first 3 quarters was just too deep to climb out of. That 11-0 Lakers run was the nail in the coffin.
And this loss, it puts the Warriors in a pretty tough position, doesn't it?
It does. I believe that's 4 losses in their last 6 games. They're in a bit of a tailspin. And until they get Steph back, they just look, well, they look vulnerable.
Whereas for the Lakers,
yeah,
this feels like the exact opposite.
Absolutely. This makes it 3 wins in a row for them. And think about the circumstances. They're doing this without their MVP candidate and without their starting center.
Which brings us to the big picture takeaway here. We started this talking about survival, but this feels like it was more than just surviving.
It's a statement win. It's a statement about the culture they're building and the depth they've assembled.
Right. I mean, if you can beat your biggest rival on their home court in a tight game by relying on guys like Luke Kennard and Marcus Smart, while Luka and Ayton are on the bench in street clothes, what does that tell you about your team?
It tells you that your floor, your absolute worst case scenario, is still incredibly high. Most teams lose their top 2 guys, they fall apart. The Lakers just proved they can still beat good teams.
Which leads to the obvious question, what's their ceiling?
And that's the scary thought for the rest of the NBA, isn't it? If this supporting cast is playing with this much confidence, imagine putting Luka, Doncic, and DeAndre Ayton back into that group. You're not just adding talent back. You're adding talent to a group that now has proof that they know how to win on their own.
It takes pressure off of Luka, too.
Yeah.
He knows he doesn't have to be superhuman every single night.
Exactly. And that keeps him fresh for a deep playoff run. You can't practice this kind of resilience. You have to forge it in the fire of games just like this one.
A masterclass in resilience. I think that's the perfect way to frame it.
It really was.
Well, that just about wraps up our look at this Lakers-Warriors game. It definitely wasn't the superstar showcase we might have expected, but it turned into something maybe even more important. A character-defining win for the Lakers.
Sometimes the ugly wins tell you a lot more about a team than the easy blowouts.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And it leaves all of us with one big question to chew on for the rest of the season. If this Lakers team looks this dangerous when they're broken, what are they going to look like when they're whole? Thanks for listening.